Alrighty, let's get the show on the road. Welcome guys, welcome. Hello. We are live, y'all. We are live. Alright, let's make sure that everything is working correctly. Hopefully I have figured out the reason why my stream has been pausing here and there. But overall, I'm hoping that we have a good stream tonight. It'll be a quick one, but you know, we're gonna go over the one single company here that I really want to come back to, since I did a stream a couple of months ago, I think, on this ticker. It's been a watch for me for a long time, but I want to you know, publicly give you guys kind of a just a little bit of a analysis as to where this company can go in the near-term future. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. Hey, 6 likes. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, before we begin, I want to give a quick shout out to one of my own trades that I sent out in the private CFO Discord today. It was like literally right after market open. I think it was like what, almost 20 minutes after market open or something like that. No, I think it was like over almost 30 minutes, I think. Okay, and that was on ticker symbol BABA. Okay, so BABA. Now, if you guys didn't watch the stream on Tuesday, we specifically went over the reasons why I think the sleeping dragon is about to be awakened once more. That sleeping dragon right now is basically awakening, right? And I love the fact that that Tuesday analysis has worked out perfectly for us, as I was able to find a very good option contract to grab, a long-term option contract at that too. And it may or may not have been a very good entry point, as we literally got the entry point right at the underlying share price of $96. And for the specific option contract, we had I believe it was near the lows of that premium the premium price of that contract. So again, very good. If you guys want to know what the exact contract is, make sure you guys DM me on Instagram to know what that contract is, and to know what our other swing trade contracts are for any other tickers that we are in right now. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and begin, okay, with VKTX. Now, if you guys don't know what VKTX is, or Viking Therapeutics, they were recently this year, back in February, they were able to provide the results of a clinical trial. I forgot if it was stage 2 or stage 1, but I'm pretty sure it was stage 2 of their obesity drug, their own version of the GLP-1, right? The obesity drug. So I don't know the specifics. I'm not into, you know, biochemistry or biotechnology. If you guys didn't know, I do hold a biology degree, so I do know all the fundamental basics of biology and science, and I just have a nice open book knowledge of everything related to science. So that's a little bit of a fun fact about me. But for biotech specifically, you know, biochemistry was not my thing. You know, it really wasn't my thing. You know, organic chemistry was not my thing. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay. These are very hard subjects to study in university. So, you know, if you guys don't know what that is, you're fine. Right? But you know, these biotech companies, what they do are very it's a very critical part of the overall human life, right? What they're doing with the solutions, the drugs, the vaccines that they're making, you know, a plethora of solutions to really elongate our life and make our living more comfortable, especially for all the millions of people out there that are suffering from diseases, right? And you know, it's one of those things where I really love biotech companies for what they're doing. Obviously, there could be a little bit of price gouging, especially with, you know, pharma tech companies, as we've seen in the last couple of years. But, you know, overall, from a positive standpoint, the overall efforts of biotech companies are net positive, right? They will elongate our lives, right? Even in my lifetime, we will see continuous improvement in our average lifespan, right? The average lifespan of our age, right? So for VKTX, they're actively participating in elongating people's lives specifically through their studies to figure out ways to really I guess, I don't know what the correct word is here, but to kind of curb, I guess, to curb the effects of severe diseases that people have, like obesity, right? Obesity and also NASH, right? If you don't know what that is, let me make sure I'm saying this correctly, okay? It's non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. It's a very, very severe form of liver disease, right? It's literally where I believe where too much fat is occurring in the liver itself, right? And the liver becomes inflamed and the liver can't function normally, right? So there are a plethora of companies out there that are figuring out ways to really help out with this disease called NASH. That's the acronym NASH. And VKTX it happens to be one of those major companies, along with the fact that VKTX has one of the best, if not the best, GLP-1 obesity drug out there right now. And that is the reason why, the main point of this stream, why I think VKTX still can see a buyout in the near-term future. And so far, from all my other biotech traders out there that I know, I'm always trying to connect with biotech traders because they're the ones that are really up to date with all the information and studies and results and data that are coming out from all these major companies, especially when there's just a general theme going on with biotech companies like obesity, or the GLP-1 drug. So with Viking Therapeutics, from what I've heard so far, this is the best-in-class drug, even going past LLY or Eli Lilly's GLP-1 drug, right? So VKTX has all the hallmarks of literally having the target to be acquired by a bigger company like Eli Lilly or even Merck, right? MRK is a big biotech company, right? So all of these large cap companies, biotech companies specifically, have the potential firepower to acquire and merge with VKTX to grab the drugs that they've been making, and just the fact that the effectiveness of their drugs can be a very attractive factor to want to really buy out this company. And so VKTX had an absolutely phenomenal I would say last 2 months of last year, and obviously into early this year. And so far, that huge gap up and huge run up after February's release of the clinical stage 2, I believe, data came out. We've been holding this gap up, and we made a very good base that ranged from 50 to 71, which I also highlighted in the previous stream, or I believe it was a video that I did. I believe it was a stream that I did on VKTX a couple months ago. So now, instead of just looking at the technical chart tonight, I also want to go over their actual website, right? So here's something that one of my biotech trader friends told me to look at, right? And so if you guys take a look here, okay, so this is the Viking Therapeutics website. So if you take a look at their careers, this is where you can find, obviously, job listings for specific companies. They don't have any jobs available at this time, right? And this is a bit speculative, of course, but apparently amongst all the biotech traders and investors, they believe that Viking Therapeutics, with 0 job listings on their actual website, could mean that the current employees, well, they don't want to expand the number of their employees right now because there is a possibility of this company getting bought out, right? And so they're not wanting anyone to come in now, right? This late into the company's successes so far is what I've been hearing, again, from my biotech trader friends. So for me, from a logical standpoint, that kind of makes sense, right? It seems like the company is saying, hey, we have all the talent that we need in this company. There really isn't a need for us to bring in more. We're seeing our drugs having very efficacious results. Our clinical trials continue to get more support, more financial support. We're seeing a lot more people signing on to their trials, which is obviously another great sign because that means that people are getting more confident in this product or drug or solution to a disease that they're working on, like NASH and obesity. So again, this is completely speculative, but hopefully you guys have understood what I said there, right? I did say a lot right now in just a couple of seconds there, but hopefully you guys understand what I said, right? So in this case here, obviously, it's speculative, right? That there are no jobs available at this time. Because usually when we do see, career or on the careers tab on any company's website, we tend to see a good amount of job listings that they're looking for to bring in and just hire talent, right? Talented people. So this is interesting from this perspective. Now, if you look at their pipeline of drugs here that they have, it looks very, very good. This is something that, again, this company has been doing very, very well. It's one of those few rare companies that have been able to really expand their drug pipeline and products without going bankrupt. But there's a lot of companies that have gotten bankrupt, especially in the last 2.5 years, with interest rates skyrocketing and really just companies not willing to borrow anymore in order to literally survive and just becoming bankrupt. I mean, I talked about this multiple times about small and mid-cap companies, and there's a lot of biotech companies that are in and identified as small and mid-cap companies. And so Viking Therapeutics has been one of the very, very lucky ones to have, well, they're not really lucky. They really do a lot of work, and they do a lot of diligent and incredible work to make sure that people are able to use their products in a very safe way and also to improve their lives simultaneously, right? So, I mean, look at this, right? So Viking Therapeutics is developing novel therapeutics for patients suffering from metabolic and endocrine disorders, right? These are very, very challenging disorders that humans go through, right? If you didn't know, but again, I don't know the exact details. I'm not, very too familiar with biochemistry or organic chemistry at that. I only know the basic fundamental knowledge of science, biology, and everything else, right? So obviously I do know how to read and understand some stuff like the endocrine system, but again, I'm not here to become a biology teacher for you guys tonight. But so what I just brought up here is the GLP-1 GIP receptor agonist, right? So this is what they're formulating here for the drug. And back in February 2024, this is the paragraph that I want to show you guys. They announced that the phase 2 venture trial successfully achieved its primary endpoint and all secondary endpoints, with patients receiving the VK2735 drug. Again, that is the name for their own weight loss or obesity drug pill, to be safe and well tolerated. Receiving VK2735, demonstrating statistically significant reductions in body weight compared with placebo. Additionally, the study showed this drug treatment to be safe and well tolerated, with the majority of treatment emergent adverse events, or TEAEs, which I also recognize, I know that as well, that term, being categorized as mild or moderate. And based on these findings, Viking intends to meet with the FDA and discuss next steps in the development of VK2735. And so this is showing very, very promising results, right? Because they're now going to phase 3 of their clinical human trials, right? And so far there haven't been many symptoms and just overall bad effects from people who have been taking this drug during the trial, and they've all had a significantly more and better results, or I guess just simply put, more benefits compared to the risks, right? So that's exactly what we want to see when a biotech company, is really spending a lot of money, or basically borrowing money, to stay on business and also to finance their clinical studies and also the development of their own drug. So, with this drug here, I believe they also have more additional data that they want to bring out by the end of this year, right? So I'm pretty sure I read earlier. Yeah, so we have Obesity Week, which begins on the first week of November, the first trading week in November, so November 4th. There's a thing called Obesity Week, guys. And this is where this biotech company, Viking Therapeutics, are going to release additional data from the phase 1 oral study at Obesity Week, which is kind of amazing because we've already gotten the results from phase 1 and we've already got results from phase 2 back in February. So that means they might be seeing even more positive results as they're continuously analyzing the data from their phase 1 trial, and they can potentially show even more positive results for this drug and potentially even more safer I guess evidence or safer data points that, well, what I meant to say is more data points that point towards the safety of this product and the usage of this product, right? This drug. So, and I also believe they will also be right. So right before Obesity Week on November 3rd, right, November 3rd of this year, they will be releasing even more data from the phase 2 trial of the injectable version of this drug, VK2735, on November 3rd. So back to back, they're going to be releasing these data points that will be critical, really critical to allowing investors, but most importantly, the bigger biotech companies to say, Viking Therapeutics has developed a very, very effective weight loss drug here. And I want to know if we can buy them out, right? Because they want to add this drug, their drug, Viking Therapeutics drug, to their own pipeline. And so, you know, it seems like, you know, with more of these data releases, Viking Therapeutics are just literally cementing themselves as possibly the one and only company that is able to provide a very dependable, safe, and probably affordable weight loss drug, which they're calling it VK2735. Okay, now for the future. Now this is why I'm looking at VKTX again. In the fourth quarter of this year, right? They're going to be expecting to meet. This company is going to be expecting to meet with the FDA for an end of phase 2 meeting for the, excuse me guys, injectable version of VK2735. Again, in this fourth quarter of this year. And on top of that, they're also starting the 13-week phase 2 trial for the oral version of VK2735 in the fourth quarter of this year. Right, so again, they're testing the oral and the injectable version of this drug, which have proven to be both very, very efficacious, right? And so it's looking to be very positive for this company in their pipeline to have this drug as probably their main product, along with their other major drugs that they're formulating for all of these other metabolic and endocrine disorders, right? So, you know, it's essentially showing everyone that that this company is making this drug without any really bad. They're making this drug, right? That this VK2735 without any significant drawbacks on the patients or side effects on the patients afflicted with obesity, and you know they're seeing a lot more benefits compared to the risks and the fact. And we are back. I think. Are we back? We're back. Jesus. My God, I was really hoping that we wouldn't have any problems with the connection there, but oof, we're having problems again. So as I was saying, I think I left off from what I was saying about the patients there. So they're not really seeing any type of large risks. So basically the benefits are outweighing the risks. And, you know, today, after earnings last night after hours, they basically have stated here that they will be doing that, conducting that phase 2 trial for their oral version of VK2735. Again, they have the injectable version and the oral version. Right, so a pill and injectable version of this weight loss drug. And so that 13-week phase 2 trial will begin in this quarter of this year and will continue on into next year. And this is very important because they're able to continue these trials because they're seeing more and more effective results. Right, they're seeing really good results, and it looks very, very optimistic to continue to try to go to the end of the trial stage, the human clinical trials, which is until, well, phase 3, right? So, well, conventionally, right, phase 3. Some companies don't even make it past phase 1, right? They have to stop phase 1, and then the company's share price absolutely craters, and the company might even have to go bankrupt, right? And declare bankruptcy, right? So VKTX, again, very, very lucky for them to really just come back from, you know, staying at these lows here, right? This is literally a penny stock back in 2022, and during their whole time of developing and researching and diligently working to you know, figure out what type of drugs and solutions that they can make against these really bad disorders for humanity, they're able to find their mojo literally by figuring out that they're really good at making this drug, and the fact that it's very effective without having such large side effects and symptoms from taking this drug. Again, it's an overall safe drug so far based on the data that they have from their clinical trials on both the oral and injectable versions of this drug, which is, again, Viking Therapeutics is leading in this class of drugs, right? They're literally cementing their reputation here for the longer haul and longer term, and they're literally turning heads and attention of these bigger biotech companies. So overall, hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. I know my stream stopped, but welcome back, guys. The replay will not have the interruption. It will automatically combine all the pauses here. But overall, right, you know, it seems like this company has literally a pipeline of positive news and positive catalysts coming in the near-term future, right? As this company continues to head towards a possible FDA approval to start selling their drugs for both NASH and for obesity drugs that they're developing, right? So today, this stock has been ranging, right, from 50 to 71, and finally today we're able to break over this massive resistance level at $71, which has been a huge significant level since this large jump in February. Okay, so sorry guys, I'm trying to make sure that the stream is working here. So to me, this literally tells me that all these shorts who have been trying to really see the failure of this company are failing, literally, right? Because all the data that has been coming out is truly indicating that this company might just be the leader in this weight loss drug. I don't know so much about NASH and their drugs that they're making for NASH. But I will have to go and consult my biotech traders and biotech investor friends that I have. But you know, VKTX, this breakout over 71 is truly significant. It's a pivotal moment, and there is a possibility for the price to come back to retest $90, which I've had this level ever since back in, I think I made this level back in like March, March of this year, when I saw this huge pop. And so if there is a possible buyout, I really wouldn't mind seeing VKTX being bought out around $90 per share. But I know all of my biotech friends and investors will be very, very angry at me by saying that, because they know that, well, from their point of view and perspectives and their own analysis of this company with the biotech knowledge that they have, okay, they know that VKTX or Viking Therapeutics is worth a lot more than $90 per share, and they most likely think $120 per share, or average about $100 per share. Okay, so if that happens, that's great, right? But to me, more realistically, just based on what I know on the surface of Viking Therapeutics and what the company is doing, and based on the overall technical analysis of VKTX, again, which hasn't changed much at all, actually, since the last time I analyzed this ticker, I think a couple months ago in a stream. You know, this target here has not changed for me. All right, so there has been a large buy that came in the option order flow today. I saw it in the morning. I saw it early in the morning, I think, or late in the morning. I don't remember. But disregarding the time, there was a very large order, a buy order that came in for the November 15th 90 strike call contracts. Okay, it was a 6,000 contracts bought outright. Okay, and the contracts are pretty cheap too. And I'm sure we're not that person or whoever it is, or a group of people are not just playing you know, for this breakout from this earnings reaction. I think they're literally playing the data that is about to come out during obesity week, which again will begin in the first trading week, full trading week of November 4th. Okay, so they have back-to-back data coming out on November 3rd and November 4th. So that should be really interesting, and that can potentially provide enough steam and momentum to bring the price back towards this $90 whole number resistance level that we saw back in February of this year, right? February of this year. February and March of this year. All right. Okay, well, that's pretty much it, guys. I know I got interrupted there, but you guys should watch the replay for the full statements that I've made on this company and what I truly believe can happen with this company, and based on what I've seen and what I've shown you guys on the website of Viking Therapeutics itself, there's a good chance that we can continue to see some very good overall positive data coming out from the continuous human clinical trials that they're currently going through right now with their drug that they've produced. All right, so have a great rest of your night, guys. I'll see you guys next week on Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good luck tomorrow, and thank you so much for watching.